Billy got it bumping.
Leg drop, boot to the face, we won't fold. Put a dude in this place, he out cold. With a tombstone, grapple the waist, get laid flat. Can't escape, nowhere to go, the cage match. It's on now, when I spot him, it's no problem. Everybody stone cold till they hit with the rock bottom. Sharpshooter, I won't miss him like Bret Hart. Like Al Snow, they gon' need him a head start. I just might catch a better body than Mickey James. Get acquainted with the name, we bringin' the pain. Like Kane in the ring, all I see is red. Paul era, Undertaker, I can see the dead. John Cena putting hands in your face. 10 DBS, keep a milli on the waist. B2TF, better stay in your place or get smacked down, play it safe. What you talking about?
Welcome to the latest edition of Boot to the Face, powered by FullPressCoverage.com. Go there for all your sporting wants and needs, where I'm sure they will be talking about all of the happenings in the NFL. The NBA is heating up, all kind of other stuff, MMA, boxing. They cover it all over at Full Press Coverage, but we are Rucker and E.J. Reed here on Full Press to talk professional wrestling on Boot to the Face. But first, Merry Christmas, EJ.
Hey, Merry Christmas, man. How your holidays go?
Pretty good, pretty good. Excuse me. Had a lot of alone time, which I kind of dug. Like, my kids came over Christmas morning, and so the weekend it's by myself. Lucy Marie went to her parents' house. It was just me. Hung out with a dude I work with Friday night after work for a couple hours and came home and napped. Hung out with my buddy and my brother. Saturday night, my brother came back here. We played Madden until like 2 a.m, like a couple of kids. And then Sunday went to the Falcons game with my brother and a couple of my friends, and
watch the Falcons lose.
They won, actually.
They won?
Yeah, I left at like 3 o'clock there.
Maybe I'm mixing my games. I could have swore they played the Colts and the Colts won.
No, they played the Colts, but they lost. The Colts lost.
Oh yeah, I was just doing chalking up the scores, and I think we both picked the Colts. Yeah, you're right, because we both picked the Colts and the Colts. Yeah, so you're right. You're right. My bad.
Then yesterday got the kids. We opened gifts, and then went to my family's house, my family Christmas thing, till about 9 o'clock. Came home, went to work this morning, man. But there was one point this weekend where I was out like shopping, and normally I'm just like go 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 go. Like I always have somewhere to be. I get off work a little late, and so I gotta hurry up and do this before I go to the gym, or I leave the gym a little late, and I gotta hurry up and do this so I can get to the podcast, or I gotta hurry up and do this because the kids are coming over. Like I'm always on the go. And I was standing there in the toy aisle trying to get something for my nephew. I was like, fuck, I've been here for like 3 hours. And I was like, I ain't got shit to do though. Like, nobody's waiting on me or anything. Let me fucking take it was nice, man. Took a couple naps.
Yeah, I mean, it's always good to have a little free time on your hand, but then a lot of other times you're like, man, I'm fucking bored.
Nah, I enjoyed it. I enjoyed just like, I don't know, just not having like I said, I'm always just like trying to finish one task and get to the next one. So to not have anything to do was just like, I mean, I had stuff to do, but I could do it at my own time. I wasn't like in a hurry to, go here, go there, meet somebody here, meet somebody there. So that was good. What about you, man? How was your weekend?
Man, I mean, you know how it goes when you got a big family. Like with my family here, and my dad, he does a lot of the cooking for our holiday festivities. So he's in the kitchen whipping it up, and I was just watching him not doing shit, just cheering him on. Yeah.
So dad does all the cooking, huh?
He does the majority of it. He's got a bunch of siblings. He's got 7 other siblings, and my aunt hosted it this year. But it's like a group thing. You gotta contribute to the food or whatnot. So he did a lot of cooking. He did like a duck. He did a turkey breast. He did pastries. He did a lot of that stuff. So did that. my family also had like a game night the night before at my cousin's house, so we went to that. That was interesting. And I got a big loud family, so you know how that goes. So
What games y'all play?
yeah,
Spades?
I think they were playing Phase 10 yesterday, but at the night before at the little pajama little party thing they were playing Heads Up. That was the one I participated in. They played some other games, but pretty much sat out on the sideline for those ones. But that was
Was the
cool.
pajama was the pajama theme like all across America this year? Because my family did that too. They were like, they sent the text out like, wear plaid pajama pants to match your favorite football team, and then wear the shirt of them. So like, my house was the only one wearing blue. Everybody, my brother's Falcons, and the rest of my family are all Chiefs, so everybody else is wearing red. And then my stepdad's a Pittsburgh Steelers fan, so I'm wearing gold and black. But I feel like everybody was wearing pajamas this year. Like I went to go buy some for everybody here, and they were sold out everywhere. I had to go to Walmart and get like some knockoff shit.
Hey man, you gotta do what you gotta do. Ain't nothing wrong with getting a quick fix at Walmart.
Yeah. I'm just saying, I think that's like was there like a TikTok trend or something that made everybody want to do the pajama thing?
I don't know because my mom told me it was the night we did it the night before Christmas, so maybe it was like a nationwide thing. But I was, man, I like to keep to myself, so I was reluctant to go, but I ended up going because you never know, man. Tomorrow's not promised, so you want to see your family whenever you can. Like I said, I got
Yeah.
a huge family, so it's a lot of noise and a lot of shenanigans going on. But it was cool.
Yeah.
Like you said, it must be like a TikTok trend or something because like you said your family did it too. So interesting.
I did notice this year our Christmas went from the noise being less like loud talking and cussing and card playing to more like just fucking kids everywhere.
Oh
Like
yeah.
out of nowhere, we've got like 20 kids just running around. So
I don't know about you, man, but because I got a bunch of first cousins, like I said, my dad got 7 siblings, and they all having kids, man. To be honest, man, I don't know all of their names, to be honest,
oh
man.
yeah, oh yeah, oh yeah. I'm just like,
And I feel
hey,
embarrassed.
hey, you'll hear me talking to you.
Yeah.
Stop running.
And it's embarrassing because it's your family, but it's a lot. It's a lot.
There's so many little girls in my family, and they all look alike. Like they're all about the same age, same hair, same like skin tone. Just like I can't remember which one's Leilani and which one's which one. Like I just say hey. So I
I did a good job up until about 2008. If you were born like after I turned 20, it's a crapshoot whether or not I'm gonna know your name and so it's just started popping them out, man. And I
yeah.
feel sad to say it. I feel embarrassed, but it is what it is. Man,
You get anything cool for Christmas?
I don't think I got anything cool since high school, maybe. I
Yeah.
lied. One year, like my mom surprised me. My first year of law school, she got me that PS4, was it? Was that right? That was the last cool thing I got. It was like my first year of law school, the PS4 randomly. But like the years in between, I never got stuff like that. So this year I got we see my family, we do Secret Santa. We
Yeah.
don't like the adults, we don't buy, we just get one gift from the Secret Santa, let the kids get the presents. And I asked for like a deep fryer this year. That was it. And that's what the Secret Santa got me. So
Yeah.
how about you, man?
Yeah, my son got me some cool socks, some Dallas Cowboys socks. I know it sounds lame, but I'm real big into like team oriented socks. One, they're comfortable as hell, like when you buy the good ones. And two, for some reason, they all like get a hole in them about the same time every year, and you got to buy more. But he bought me some cool ones. We don't do Secret Santa. We do the white elephant thing. So everybody brings one gift and we put a little price limit on it.
Mhm.
And the adults play that game and you get whatever kids you want. And it's like so many fucking kids. So I just get my nephews something. And it was fun. It was good to see the family. A lot of them I only see once a year because most of them are spread out like Florida, Missouri,
Mhm.
different parts of the country. So everybody comes up here. I was happy to see that everybody would be here this year. You can go hang out with them, but it's also like family too, right? So it's like Yeah, I think I've had my fill for a couple months now. We
That's
don't have
this.
to we don't have to run this back anytime soon. Like,
We good, right? Until
yeah.
until a few
And not
months.
in a bad way. Like I love all of them. It's just like it's just a fucking lot, man. Like
Mm.
I don't know if it's I'm just getting older and it's like a sensory overload thing, but it's just like so much shit going on at once. It's like, God damn it. Like, can we just be quiet for a couple minutes?
Yeah, and that's how it is for me too. Like, well, I love my family, but it's a lot. Like,
Yeah.
I'm a laid back guy, I just like to chill and you know have my peace and silence sometimes. But this only happens a couple times a year, so that's my limit. And you were talking about playing Madden earlier. I hadn't played Madden since Madden 2014.
Mm, that's a
Believe it or not. I know, right? How does Madden is Madden even still fun? You said you were playing with your brother to like two.
I mean, we only play like a game and have two games. I like it. I think it's fun. I still get it every year. Um, every week when the Cowboys have a game, I'll play against the team that they're playing after it updates and like updates the rankings. And I found that this is gonna sound dumb, right? But say they were playing the Bills a couple weeks ago. I couldn't beat them. I played them like three times and I couldn't beat them. And that always translates to what happens in real life. Every fucking time. I'd say 95% of the time, if I struggle to beat the team on Madden that they're playing that week, they either struggle or they lose. If I lose, they lose. If I blow the doors off of them, they do the same thing. Like it's very fucking odd.
That is weird. Maybe the Madden knows something that we don't know.
Well, I mean, the rankings get updated, right? Like the players and all that, they keep up with the injuries and the whole nine. So it's like, yeah, I guess they keep up with momentum and shit like that. But I was struggling with the Dolphins. I think I played them twice. So the last 2 years, I haven't known how to kick the ball in Madden, and I
Mm.
haven't looked it up. And so me and my brother were playing. He beat me by 3 points. I was trying to kick a 60-yard field goal at the end, and he's like, "Oh, I'll do it for you." And he hit the fucking crossbar at the bottom, right? So I'm like, "Show me how to kick." So the little meter, if you're watching
Mhm.
at home, goes up like in a little half a U.
Mhm.
Usually, when you get to the power, you hit the X, and
Yeah.
you come down and you hit the accuracy. You got to hit the X twice at the top. You got to hit it at the power and then hit it again before it crosses the little line. And then you come down and hit the accuracy. So now you're hitting it three times. I never fucking knew that. I couldn't even kick the ball off past the 20-yard line. So whenever I would score, the ball would he'd get the ball at the 20 and then run it back like 35. That's where he was starting from. So I'm like, yeah, you beat me, but you only beat me because I don't know how to kick the fucking ball.
See, that's why I don't get like why do they overcomplicate things
Yeah.
sometimes? Why didn't they just keep it where you hit the stick when it gets up to the meter? And I hadn't played since they did that, so I was
Yeah.
kind of like boycotting Madden for a while because they kept putting out the same game every year. And then when
They
they
do.
uh, when they announced NCAA, I'm like, all right, so maybe I'll break my Madden hiatus once they come back with NCAA. It's coming out this summer, so I'll probably get Madden just to compliment the NCAA because
You know what
they
they did to get
yeah.
me though?
What's
They
that?
stopped updating the rosters. You can't
Mm.
download the latest rosters anymore because some people had just bought like Madden 2017 and they would just update the rosters every year. They don't do that anymore. So now,
Mm.
so now if you want like an updated roster with your new quarterback and all that, you got to buy the fucking game.
But they don't let you do like the fan made roster updates like that anymore, I guess.
You can do fan made, but I mean, like, you used to be able to just go download
Really?
what your roster was. They don't do that anymore.
I didn't know they let you do it like past the games, year
Oh,
or
yeah.
whatever.
Yeah, it was
That
like
was that
20,
was stupid on them.
2013, 2014. I skipped the Maddens a couple times because like you said, it was basic. That was back when the QB vision was on there, right? The
Oh,
little
I just love
cone.
the QB vision.
Yeah. That was back when that was on there. And it was like, well, what's the point of buying a new game when it's just the same fucking thing? Like hit stick, truck stick, same thing.
I remember like Madden '07 or '08. They had like each QB had like their specialty and they have it above their head. Like Matt
Yeah.
Hasselback had like the smarts and one had like a cannon arm, and that used to be dope. Man, I feel like they
That
take the fun away from it.
that fucking QB vision. If you didn't have Peyton Manning, you couldn't see shit. Peyton Manning would back up and the whole field would be his QB vision.
Yeah, I
Everybody
remember
else just had this little cone and you had to like
that.
move it around. You were
Those
right.
were the
Overcomplicating the shit out of it.
They've been doing that a little bit with 2K2. I bought this year's 2K and they always like tinker with it. Like, why are you making it worse than what it was? Because at one point, like I used to play 2K all the time in college around like 08, 09. I got so good. I was like top 100 in the country.
Damn. I
I
was
had
good at
like
live. I was never good at 2K.
yeah, once they switched over live for the PS3 generation, that's when live started getting lame and everybody started playing 2K. And
Yeah.
so I got pretty good. I had like crazy, ridiculous win streaks, like 27, 30 games, and
Damn.
I got pretty up there. That's back when all I did was just go to the class and then just go home and play 2K.
I feel like NFL 2K was on its way to taking over Madden until Madden fucking crushed that shit. Like, nah.
A lot of people still prefer 2K football. That's when NFL signed that exclusive where only the EA could do it because
Yeah.
they still got fan made 2K. A lot of people prefer the 2K, but and if EA nipped that in the bud, like, all right, we're gonna get this
Yeah.
exclusive contract, man.
Enough of that shit. Madden.
Yeah, and the rest is history.
Yep. Well, shit, AJ, let's get into some wrestling. It was Christmas weekend. WWE took the weekend off, or the week off, actually. I mean, NXT's on now, but uh, as far as I remember, there's no SmackDown this coming week. There was no Raw. Um, NXT is on. I don't know if it's a replay or
Is it live?
it's on. I don't know. It looks like it's a new one. They just announced like the superstar and the women's wrestler of the year and all that. But they had a match with Chase U and somebody. I don't want to spoil it. But wrestling's a little slow. I just finished Collision today.
Yeah. What were your thoughts on it?
If you were following along on our Discord, I was kind of giving some thoughts on what I thought about Collision, but it was all right. I thought it was pretty fucked up at Ricky Starks and Big Bill to be making fun of making fun of.
He said, if you got the guts or something like that.
Yeah, right. He said, you got diverticulitis. My uncle's got gingivitis. Like, he's fine.
That's hilarious. We all know that uncle with the halitosis. Yeah,
But
that
yeah,
was funny.
I did catch SmackDown. I caught, like I said, Collision. I think I watched Rampage also. My big takeaway from Collision, man, is, and yeah, it has a lot to do with the looks also, but Sky Blue's new character works for her. Like, she seems like so much more important and like more dangerous, I guess you could say. Now that she's on the quote unquote dark side. I like her little attitude, her facial expressions are good. Like, I don't think she was made. Certain people were meant to be heels, and certain people were meant to be baby faces. And I think she was meant to be a heel.
So is she officially a part of the House of Black, or I think they're keeping it vague, maybe
Yeah,
for more storyline purposes?
it's vague, but she's cool with Julia. So she's not technically in the House of Black, but her and Julia are like cool. So is Julia even part of the House of Black? Because she never really like run with them anymore.
Yeah, she's with the House always wins, but yeah, she's been doing her solo
Right.
deal basically. So
And they've been fucking around with FTR.
yeah, I mean, I like that though. Divide and conquer. You don't have to be all up under their thumb the whole time. Right? Do what you need to do. But yeah, man, I agree with you. You know, Sky Blue, her rebranding did the trick. And like we always joke about before, like, is it Sky Blue? Is it Cora Jade? And both of them are kind of like branched off and got like their own personality going on right now.
I was gonna say I can definitely tell the difference now.
Whoa, now. But yeah, I dig it. And hopefully, I kind of don't want to see her and Julia Hart tag team for long term. I'm hoping eventually this will lead into a little feud between them because, you know, if they got men's pillars, then I feel like these two should be woman pillars.
Yeah, I mean, you got Britt, you got both of them have been around since, well, Sky Blue, I feel like came around a little later. She may have been on the roster, but
Yeah.
she came around a little later. But I feel like she's like the little engine they could in the women's division, right? Like everybody wants her to do well, but they announced on the thing she's only 24.
Yeah.
Julie Hart's only 22. Like,
Mm-hmm.
you have plenty of fucking time, man. and I feel like they were trying to rush it for the longest, but I think she finally got a character and a ring. Even her ring style is a little bit different. Like she's not trying to do a bunch of showy shit. Now she's just like, I'm gonna need this bitch in the face, right? So yeah, I like it. I like her character and stuff a lot better, man. It's working for her.
Yeah, man. And I'm excited to see where they go with her in the future. And I think they finally got it like a clear direction on where they wanted to go, because you see her on TV more consistently than you do with a lot of the other women. I mean, even with like Abaddon, she disappeared. Was it because of injury? She wasn't on TV for a while, but seems like she's been featured a lot more.
Yeah. She got a title shot coming up at New Year's Evil or
Yeah.
what's it called? At New Year's End or
World's End.
Yeah, she got a title shot coming up against Julia.
And like that was like one of the characters I saw in the game. I'm like, she's not even on TV. Why is she in the game? But I guess she was injured, so my bad.
I remember when she first came out, she was creepy as fuck, and I was just like, I don't know if I like this, but I can't like not look at it. Whether I like it or not, like I still had to watch it. So good for her. Like she had a little zombie shit going on. I think she kind of ruined it though when she started posting like thirst traps on Instagram, but
Hold up.
faced up.
Hold up. Where? I gotta see this for research purposes.
Yeah, Abaddon's got an Instagram. And she was like, she was starting to work it. This was a couple years ago. She's like working out and trying to get in shape. And she posting little, like the booty pose all the workout girls do. But she have like a animated face over her face, so you can't see what she looks like.
Yeah. I've seen a picture of her, like an actual picture of her. It's not what you think it'd be. Like, I'm like, okay, look at you, Abaddon.
Zombies ain't that bad.
Yeah, she's a blonde chick. Good for her. But it seems like the Collision side of things has like something different going on with their women, and then you got the Dynamite side of things, basically with Toni Storm. But Toni Storm pops up wherever she wants. She pop up on Collision.
She was funny on Collision too.
What she do? What she do?
She was just she was doing an interview, and Mariah May was back there, and Renee was like, "Yeah, you had help from Mariah May," and she was like, "Who?" And Mariah was like, "Me." She's like, "Oh, welcome aboard. Like, good to have you here." And she's like, "I've been here. What are you talking about?" She's like, "Yeah, whatever." Like, anyway, back to Hikaru Shida. Oh no, back to Riho. She told Riho that, what did she say? She said something like, it's bulking season or something like that. And I have no problem. Like, she slapped her stomach. She was like eating and just destroying you or some shit. And then, the chin up and tits out and threw a shoe at Renee.
Yeah, I was waiting for Renee to get that shoe again. But on Dynamite, she was called Taz the human duplex machine.
Yeah. That was so good. She's
like,
fun, man.
She's like, well, what landlord are you, or something like that?
Yeah, she said, "You're one of my favorite landlords."
Yeah.
From what I understand, they call you the human duplex machine. Taz was like, "Yep, that's me."
He just went along with it.
Yeah.
I wonder if she's coming up with this stuff off the cuff, or are they talking about it backstage?
From what I've heard, Tony Khan was a big fan of like old school movies like that, and they got to talking about it, and she was like, "Well, why don't I do a character like that?" And she did like a deep dive into all these old movies and is just like bought into it completely. And if you're gonna do an over the top character like that, you gotta fucking buy into it, right? Like the Undertaker didn't fucking not be the Undertaker when people saw him in real life, so people bought into it. So good for her, like the way she's doing it. Like I'm a fan. I've always been a Toni Storm fan, but I think this is fucking phenomenal.
So if she eventually jumps back over to WWE, you think they would turn her back into her original WWE character, do this one, or like just do a whole new character?
We talked about her last run in WWE last week, and I don't think she'd ever go back there.
I think she would. Everybody goes back eventually.
I mean, okay, I take that. I shouldn't say not ever, but I don't think she's like, all right, now that I fucking own my skills and I can go back there. I think she's having fun. She's got freedom. She's the fucking 3-time AEW women's champion. Like, if you care anything about legacy, she could go down as the best AEW women's wrestler ever if she like sticks with. She's still young too. She's like what, 27, 28?
Yeah. I don't see her going back there anytime soon, but what 6-7 years down the line, if she wants to do another run, I wonder if they would like totally revamp the character or let it run with this. Because I don't think Triple H is a stubborn dude. If something working, I don't think he would like.
I mean,
I
shit,
need my stamp on it, like Vince did.
they didn't change shit about Cody when he came back.
That's true, but I
Same
mean,
music and everything.
that was like, you know, 100%. You can't fail. Like they didn't need to ramp that. I'm surprised Vince did it. That was under Vince, so you're right. Like I'm surprised Vince let him run with that.
That was basically a fuck you to AEW. Like, we'll take the guy that you won't even give the world title to, and we'll put our brand behind him. And now he's the biggest fucking star in wrestling.
Yeah, you got Cody, but then you got Lexus King. And they're like, whatever you saw in AEW, that's not what we're doing over here.
Yeah, but Cody Brown Pillman, those are like way two different levels, right? Like, I think Tony Storm is closer to the Cody Rhodes level than she is the Lexus King level.
Yeah, you have a point. I'm just curious to see now that we see CM Punk and Cody and Jade. I'm like curious to see who's going to jump back and forth within the next like 2-3 years or so. I think that's the exciting part about wrestling.
Yeah, I'm curious to see who's gonna leave WWE and go, because you got bigger contracts of people coming up. Seth Rollins, Becky Lynch, both of their contracts supposed to be coming up soon. So, I mean,
I wouldn't be. I wouldn't. This might sound crazy. I wouldn't be totally surprised if they tried to test the water and somewhere else.
I don't know about Becky, but I could see Seth being like, all right, like I could see him making like a handshake deal with Triple H. Like, I'll be back in 2 years. I'm gonna go do the shit that y'all won't let me do here, which is wrestle like motherfuckers from Japan and AEW and all that. Go have my fun, and then I'll come back and finish up here. I could see that. I don't think Becky needs to do it. Like, what she got to prove, right? Like, I think her and Seth are two different paths as far as where they started out wanting to be in wrestling. I could be wrong. I'm just, from interviews and shit like that I've heard, I think she's good in WWE. Like, she could go down. I was talking about Tony Storm in AEW. Becky Lynch could literally go down as the biggest women's star in WWE history, and there's a lot of fucking women that have to climb over to get there, and she could do it.
That's true. I only can see two people on the roster that would never go there, like lifers, and that's Roman Reigns and The Miz.
I could see Roman leaving. He ain't got. I could see Tony Khan. I can see Tony Khan doubling what Roman makes now and giving him the same schedule. And Roman being like, I'm not going to be on the fucking rampage losing the gold dust. Like, you make me a fucking big deal like I've been. And I can see Tony could you imagine Roman Reigns in AEW? Like,
that'd be the power shift that they needed, but I just don't see it. I just don't see it happening. I think Roman's good. I think once Roman leaves, he's off to Hollywood.
Oh yeah, he's definitely good, but I'm just saying, like,
he could do it, but I don't think he would do it.
I think if the money made him do it, he would. Like, the loyalty would go out of the window. But I also think like WWE's made this guy a multi-millionaire. Like, and WWE's way bigger than AEW. But if he wanted to be one of those people that like Hogan and Hall and Nash that wanted to make WCW bigger than WWE, he could fucking defect. And I think it would help big time.
It would, but I just don't see that happening. But I could definitely see Seth doing it.
I kind of want to see Roman go to AEW now.
Come
just
on,
talking
man.
about it.
Really? You don't? Why would you want to see that?
Why not?
I mean, like you said, if he's working the same schedule, how much would that really help them?
I would love to see the AEW fan show their hypocrisy. Like, just hating on Roman constantly. And then when he shows up on Dynamite, they're like, oh my God, we got the greatest world champion in the history of everything.
That works both ways, though. You know how many WWE fans were shitting on CM Punk?
I still do.
And then, well, outside of you that like were completely shit on him and then did like a whole 180. You didn't do a complete 180.
Oh no, I still don't like him.
Yeah.
I think it's better for wrestling that he's in WWE though than he was in AEW. But I still don't like him.
I don't think it is necessarily. AEW kind of needed him.
Yeah, but they didn't do shit with him.
Yeah, they did, but it's the politics and shit behind the scenes. They created a whole new show for him. What are you
They can
talking
need him
about?
all they want, but if you're not gonna fucking do anything with him, but I mean, I know he's two-time world champion, but at the same time, like
The motherfucker
it
was
just
hurt the whole time.
yeah, it didn't work for whatever reason. Maybe Tony should have had him calm down. Like, no, you don't need to wrestle every week. You don't need to go jump into the fucking crowd. Like, we talk all
I,
this shit about all the handcuffs that WWE puts on people. This is why they got to protect these motherfuckers from themselves.
I doubt Tony was like, go jump in the crowd. He just did it
He
on his.
definitely didn't tell him not to.
You think? I feel like under WWE, it's just understood you don't do stupid shit like that.
Exactly, EJ. But it's not understood in AEW.
I
It's
don't know.
understood in WWE that when you're at a press conference, you're not about to sit here and shit talk your coworkers in real life and just shit on the company the whole time. Like talk bad about the EVPs that we got in place and all that. Call everybody children. What's understood don't need to be explained or, whatever the fuck Jay-Z said.
But I think AEW needed him more, but how WWE is utilizing them is how they should have utilized them, because I feel like that's the most intrigue I've been in a while is what him and Seth got going on, just because it's real life stuff entangled with the storyline. So
It takes another dance partner too. Like Seth's been building this storyline for 2-3 years, talking shit about Punk in case it ever happened, and now it's coming to fruition. Who's he have beef with in AEW? Like,
I mean, if him and Omega would have did something, I would have been all in on that. No pun
yeah, but
intended.
there was no backstory to it though. Like,
You don't need it. They're punching each other in the backstage in real life. That's what gets me intrigued. Like, I know that Seth's been building it up, and that's where it stems from, but I just need real life, whether it happened 5-6 years ago or whether it happened 2 weeks ago, and that bleeds over into the storyline. But something may have sidelined that because his diverticulitis. So who knows if they would even. But I mean, they should have blown it off at All In before the diverticulitis happened. So
yeah,
it is what it is.
yeah, you're right. Again, going back to my point, they didn't use him right. They should have made him wrestle Omega. You're under contract. You fight who I tell you to fight. And the same with the Young Bucks and Omega. Like, I ain't trying to hear that I don't want to work with him shit. We're co-workers. You're gonna work with him, you're gonna go home.
Yeah, that's how they didn't use him right. Is when that not including him in that, but everything else he got whatever he wanted. But yeah, they didn't use him right when it came to when they and shit at the fan.
Yeah.
Man, their loss.
Well, let's get into some power rankings, EJ.
I'll be into it early, huh?
Yeah, we got a little bit to talk about. We got to predict the world's end. Day one's coming up. We want to talk about the build to that, and then who's going to challenge Roman Reigns at the Royal Rumble. We got a couple things to talk about. But let's start it off with the power rankings. I believe you went first last time.
You're probably right. I can't remember.
So I will go first this time. And I will pick, let me run through my Rolodex of what matches have I watched this past week.
They all jumbled up into one. Like, things happened on Wednesday. That seemed like 3 weeks ago.
Didn't Blair Davenport win a match last week? Isn't she like a number one contender?
She's the number one contender, but she got that at their pay-per-view, the deadline.
Okay. All right, never mind then. I'll put Claudio and Bryan Danielson in there as number 5.
Ooh.
Since they got a draw.
First draw in the tournament. I was wondering when they were going to finally utilize that. And they decided to pull the trigger. That was a fantastic match, though. I enjoyed it. Your number 5. My number 5 is I don't think it was it the main event? I don't know, but this guy, he's finally the first person to beat Jon Moxley in this tournament, Jay White, and now it's going to be a triple threat match on tomorrow's Dynamite. You don't like it? Why not?
I don't like it.
Why not?
You're letting half the people in the fucking match that were in the bracket. So the bracket doesn't mean shit. There was only 6 people in the bracket, and 3 of them are going to the final. Quit being a pussy. Book it. Give me one-on-one. If you were going to be too scared to book two people to qualify for it, you shouldn't have set the tournament up like that. I don't like it. I don't like triple threat matches.
You don't like them at all?
There's a couple that like are okay, but I think triple threat matches are like scary booking.
I dug the triple threat match at WrestleMania. Triple
Okay.
H, Benoit, and Shawn Michaels.
Didn't care for it.
Mm,
I didn't like Charlotte getting shoehorned into the Becky and Ronda match.
that I hated.
The best triple threat match I've ever seen. I know people are thinking TNA with Samoa Joe and AJ Styles and Christopher Daniels. Nope.
I like that.
I liked it too. But the best triple threat match I've seen, Kurt Angle versus The Undertaker versus The Rock.
When that happened,
I was about to say uncensored.
that's
Um,
WCW pay-per-view.
yeah. Was it Unforgiven, maybe? I can't
Probably.
remember. But the Rock had just made his return after Austin took his ball and went home, and Rock came and won the undisputed title that he
Mm.
later dropped to Brock Lesnar at SummerSlam.
So circa 2002.
Mhm.
I did not remember. That's something I'll have to go back and watch since
It was like 45 minutes, I think.
got some free time on my hands this week.
Yeah, you don't need elliptical and throw that shit on.
Will do. But yeah, I mean, I don't mind it with Jay White and Moxley and Swerve. You know, I'm gonna go off on the limb and say Jay White is the one that's gonna take the pin, and I think Swerve gets the job done.
I think after what happened on Collision, it's going to end up being Moxley versus Fat Boy.
Eddie.
Yeah.
Oh, see, you think okay. I see. I kind of see why they did it now. I don't mind them being scary though, because that means Swerve doesn't have to take the pin, and then you get Moxley and Eddie Kingston.
I don't like having Andrade get out to such a big fucking lead and then he don't even make the finals either. Made him look like a chump.
Yeah, and did we talk about what happened to Lana? Her finger.
No, we haven't on here. Oh my God. That was so gross.
I don't know what happened, but that's gonna sideline the Miro and Andrade story. I'm sure because she's hurt.
Yeah. That was I think I posted in our Discord. If I didn't, I can. But her one of her middle fingers got some kind of infection in it. She said from a splinter. And
That's a hell of a splinter.
it swelled up like 4 times the size normal. And they went in and made incisions to like cut all the infections out. And you could literally see her bone in the finger. Like the cut was still, I don't, have you seen the picture of it?
I saw it. It was
Yeah.
terrible.
The cut was like zigzag, and you could literally see. I'll bust your head to the white meat. You could see the fucking white meat, and it was not. Didn't look good.
Well, we know somebody who's not gonna be getting any old fashions anytime soon.
She got 2 hands.
Fair enough.
But yeah, get well soon, CJ Perry. That's speaking of Cora Jade, she's in the ring now. Looks not like I like her little change of look. She got a little highlights on. It looks like she got I was just to be delicate, let's just say it looks like she's got a different facial expression than she normally has.
I don't know what you're alluding to there, but we'll
She's been
say it
hanging,
off record.
she's been hanging out with Charlotte.
No. I mean, I'm not gonna say anything because do what you want to do. Do however you want to
Yeah, I'm
look.
not saying it's bad. I'm just saying that's what it looks
I'm
like.
just saying in general, because you got a lot of trolls on the internet that'll get on them. I mean, it's their body.
Yeah.
I mean, it might not be my cup of tea necessarily, but it's not my body to say so. So whatever.
Also, look at those trolls' body. Like they should probably go get some kind of surgery.
Yeah, the liposuction kind.
I would if I could afford it. Be a lot easier than going to the gym and eating healthy.
Hey, fair enough. But who are we talking about?
You're number 4.
Yeah. Number 4. I got your returning superstar, or we don't call him superstars over there, but wrestler. Thunder Rosa. You talked about her earlier. Came back to Collision, got the W. What's her name? Kyle Boo took the pin.
Well, like Ikarosa. Oof.
She's eating her collard greens and cornbread while she was gone.
Beans, potatoes,
Uh,
green, beans.
but on her
Me,
case,
damn it.
in her case, the empanadas.
Oh my God. We're saying this in a good way, by the way. We're not saying it's a bad look.
Yeah,
I thought she looked phenomenal.
yeah. Shout out to Thunder Rosa. Over this past year, she was on Spanish commentary.
Yeah.
What was her injury again?
She hurt her back. Thunder Rosa's like,
Spinal.
so I've listened to, obviously she was on Busted Open as a host on there, but I listened to a lot of podcasts with her, and she had actually, right before she went to AEW, we were supposed to have her own boot to the face.
Really?
And yeah, and then the world kind of shut down. I think that was what happened. I can't remember exactly the timeline, but I was in contact with her and she was cool with coming on, and we just hadn't set up a time yet. And then she got signed to AEW. But if you've ever listened to her on a podcast, not on Busted Open, where she's like a host and she has to kind of play a role, but if you're
Yeah.
listening to her just like talk real, she's got one of those voices and storytelling ability that she's like really fucking intriguing. And you can tell it's being real too. Like, when you listen to somebody talk, you're like, this fake motherfucker here. But you listen to Thunder Rosa and you're like, damn, you did all that.
Yeah. That's crazy too, because English isn't even her first language.
Right.
You can't even tell.
And how she learned how to speak it. She didn't go to school to learn how to speak English. I want to think it was her that said she was watching soap operas and that's how she learned how to speak English.
That's crazy. That's how
I
they say
could
they do it.
I could be making that shit up, but I know there was a wrestler that didn't speak English that said they learned from watching soap operas. But shout out to Thunder Rosa, who's also my number 4 on this week's power rankings. She
Hey.
hit that what's it called? The tequila bomb?
Yeah. It kind of looks brutal when she picks him up on the side and then just drops him on the head.
Yeah.
I'm curious to see what they got for her going forward, because maybe this will be how they tie Britt back in. I'm hoping Britt's not the devil too. I mean, it'd be better than Jack Perry, but I don't know. I just hope it's a complete surprise.
My number 3, only because I can't remember a lot of matches this past week. I'm gonna go with Ultimo Wagon. Nikita Lyons. Big time win. She's what, 2-0. She got 2 wins since she comes back. She might have to get a different move though than that fucking standing split leg drop guillotine.
Awful.
Yeah, I've never there's been a couple people that do that move and I've never really liked it.
Who
Also,
else does it?
there's been people in the past that did it. I think Alicia Fox did it for a while before she went to the axe kick. But like, your finishing move shouldn't be something that every dude in the crowd is like, okay, do me next. Do me next. Right? Like, you're supposed to be scared of it.
Yeah. It's like didn't somebody do a butt something with their butt finishing move or something like that?
Oh, well, Kelly used to do the stink face.
Yeah, like who wouldn't
Her
want
and
that?
Tori Wilson. Yeah. Right. Wait. Oh no. No, Tori.
Don't do it.
No.
No. With your mouth wide open. No.
Right. It's a no.
But we digress.
My number 2 is going to be Eddie Kingston.
Ooh. Somebody must have been reading my list somehow. You hacked into my system.
I have to be unbiased. I'm a broadcast journalist, like Bobby the Brain Heenan used to say. And if I'm gonna be unbiased, Eddie Kingston beat who was my favorite to go to the finals, Andrade. So, you got to give it to him. I don't like him. I think he's overrated. He's annoying, fat.
You fat shame this guy? Come on.
I'm fat too, though. I can do this. It's fine. It's like me. Like, I can make fun of black people because I'm black, right? So I'm fat. I can make fun of fat people.
All right. I guess Ron Killings is up on the next on the list. Shame him for being black, dark skin.
No, because he's cool.
Fair
He
enough.
can't help being dark skinned. Eddie Kingston can definitely help being fat.
Fair enough.
Especially when I saw him in Jacksonville outside in the parking lot smoking cigarettes, like they were going
Hey,
at the aisle. It's like, go to the gym.
hey, Michael Jackson would disagree with you on that, but
He had vitiligo. That wasn't his fault.
like Sammy Sosa will disagree.
He had vitiligo too.
Come on now, that he ain't have no vitiligo.
Sure he did. Sammy Sosa turned into a white woman. He wasn't
Tragic,
black though. He was Hispanic.
tragic. But I got
Shout
you
out
off
to
your
Eddie Kingston.
I
Yeah.
got you off your path. You were talking about what Eddie Kingston did.
Shout out to old fat ass Eddie Kingston for getting the win.
I mean, we can just tie that into my number 3. Eddie Kingston is my number 3. I ripped mine out beforehand, so it's funny that you picked him. He got the win. He came back. Wasn't he like winless for a while in this tournament?
Yeah, he was like 0 for 2, 0 for 3.
Now he's getting to defend his belt, but we had to knew that was coming because he was gonna lose his belt in the preliminary rounds, which is
I still think he might win the whole thing. That's why he gave his belts up.
I just hate. I'm enjoying the tournament, but I hate the prizes for the tournament. I just hate that all these belts on the line, and it irks me for some reason.
So, what do you call it when you fuck up and somebody corrects you on a show?
Retro. Oh,
fact check. Fact check.
Okay, fact check. Yeah.
It is not going to be one title. The Ring of Honor title, the New Japan Strong title is still going to be separate, and they're going to debut this new title, which makes it the Triple Crown champion. So that person that wins can still defend each title if they want to.
That's what they said. They finally.
Yeah, that's what I was paying attention to it last week after we talked about it, and they're going to debut a new title, and that's what's going to make it the Triple Crown champion. Is they're going to have a ROH title, a New Japan title, and an AEW title. So they're going to be a Triple Crown champion in 3 different promotions.
So this is AEW's way of doing a Triple Crown. Even though you got the world title, you got a TNT championship, and you got an international championship.
Triple Crown through the old days, a Triple Crown champion meant to be a champion of 3 different promotions.
By the old standard. I still don't really like it like that because
I think in WWE it's not called the Triple Crown. It's called the Triple.
It's the Triple Crown. Okay. You got the Triple Crown, and you got the Grand Slam, which is 4 titles.
But the old because I remember Ultimo Dragon did it in WCW, where he had like 8.
Dude, he was walking around like the wrestling version of Slick Rick with all those titles on him.
He had to help. He had to have someone, I don't know, help him carry some of that shit. He had so many belts.
I think like when right after he did that is when I first started getting in WCW. This is like 97-ish. I don't remember him walking around with us until I recently went back and watched it. I'm like, this is about to fall over with all those titles hanging on him.
Right.
That was crazy.
Yeah, he was. I used to like Ultimo Dragon when I was. The fucking luchadors used to really intrigue me when I was younger. I was a big main event, like heavyweight guy, but something about Rey Mysterio and Guerrero and Ultimo Dragon and Juventud, like I would not turn the channel. When Scott Norton's big ass would come out, I'm like, all right, I go to the bathroom now. But the fucking the cruiserweights, the Nitro girls, and the main event, that was what caught me to keep watching Nitro.
My boy Michael, who I grew up with, he was a big Rey Mysterio fan and Billy Kidman. But as far as as far as the cruiserweights, I don't know if I really had a favorite. I just like the matches. Maybe like a Jericho before he hopped over it. I just like how he was all about the shenanigans.
That was the thing about the cruiserweights, though, is you didn't have to have a favorite. You just watch it. Like, it's like an AEW pay-per-view. Like, you don't have to have a rooting interest. You just watch the match and it's going to slap. And the cruiserweights did that shit every fucking open match of Monday Nitro. I mean, Guerrero and Rey Mysterio had some matches. Kidman had some dope matches. Like I said, Juventud Guerrero, the Ultimo Dragon, Jushin Thunder Liger, with that weird ass outfit he used to have on, like Dean Malenko.
What about the Juice? Yeah, you said Dean Malenko. What about the Juice Hoovy?
Yeah, I said Juventud Guerrero. Yeah.
Oh, you said him earlier? Oh, I missed it.
He was one of my boys too. He was really good towards the end of WCW when he was like imitating The Rock.
Oh yeah, he kept calling himself the Juice. Yeah. What about
Finally, the juice has come back to Cleveland.
so?
We're in Dayton. It doesn't matter where we are.
So is this before The Rock called him out in that Jericho segment, or was that after?
Ooh. It was probably after, because this was around the time
Okay,
WCW was about to die.
so
When
this
he
is a
when he
okay.
took his mask off and was just like, he was part of the filthy animals. Rey
So
Mysterio and
mm-mm. I don't think Huey was a part of that. It was
no,
Ray.
he was against them. Yeah, yeah.
Okay,
It was Ray, it was Conan, it was
Eddie.
Tigers. Eddie Guerrero wasn't in it.
It was Eddie Kidman, Ray, and
No.
Conan. I thought.
Eddie had already went to Eddie was a part of the Rascals or whatever they were
Oh,
called. The
no.
Radicals, the Radicals.
The Radicals was Chris Benoit, Dean
Dean
Malenko,
Malenko, Eddie Guerrero.
Shane Douglas. No, Shane
No,
Douglas.
it was Eddie Guerrero, Chris
Hold
Benoit,
up. Now,
Dean Malenko, and Perry Saturn.
we mixing them up because Revolution. It was Revolution was out with it was out with Evolution and with Revolution. That was Shane Douglas. Let's do a quick fact check because
I'm telling you, the Radicals were
the Radicals were in
Eddie
WWE.
Guerrero.
That was
Yeah,
in WWE.
it was Eddie Guerrero.
I'm talking about the WCW precursor of it.
Guerrero was never a part of he was never a part of the Filthy Animals.
Who was in it? And I'm looking up.
K-Dog. It was Rey Mysterio. It was Tigress. Hey, yo, Tigress, you like my shirt? Go ahead, feel it. That's enough.
All right, so I'm looking up the members of Revolution right now in WCW because it was like the precursor to the Radicals in WWE. Shane Douglas, Benoit, Dean Malenko, Perry Saturn, and Asia, which was the China ripoff. So now let's look up the Filthy Animals lineup because it was like it basically just combined the groups in WWE. They had because I want to say they had okay, so Filthy Animals had Conan, Ray, Billy, Eddie, Juventud was in it. Disco, Inferno.
I never remember Eddie Guerrero
Yeah,
being
he was in it.
the
He was in the
Animals.
Filthy Animals. Cause I remember, and they had Tori Wilson and Tigress.
Oh yeah,
Right?
Tigress.
Why was Disco Inferno in it though?
What a fucking hanger on that motherfucker was, right? Like Disco Inferno
He's the worst.
sucked. What a fucking just
and it apparently it's supposed to be WCW's version of Degeneration X. I don't see that though.
No. Degeneration X was WWE's version of the NWO.
Yeah. So why would they like go back and all right, y'all copied us, so we're gonna copy you back.
Y'all want to water our shit down? We better water y'all way the fuck down.
Yeah. But yeah, shout out to the Filthy Animals. But what about we talk about the cruiserweights? What about like a La Parka, like the secondary?
Oh
type?
man, Lil Parker used to be the guy, the
With
chairman,
with the
that
chair.
little fucking dance he used to do.
The park, yeah.
Did you ever you remember DDP was feuding with Macho Man, and he wrestled Macho Man dressed up as La Parka and hit him with the fucking diamond cutter and beat him?
That's like right before I got into it's like 97. That's like right before I got into it. But I went back and watched highlights. I saw that clip. That was crazy.
They were talking to was DDP on Stone Cold's podcast? I go back and sometimes Stone Cold's podcast will pop up on my podcast stuff, and it'll be an interview I want to re-listen to. And he was talking to DDP, and DDP was saying how they didn't tell anybody, him and Macho Man and La Parka, they didn't tell anybody they were doing that. And he was just walking around backstage. And I want to think he said Arn Anderson, or it was somebody like Arn Anderson, was looking at La Parka and said, "Why the fuck are your eyes blue?"
Oh, he got that close.
And DDP fucking raised his mask up, and they were like, they're gonna fucking love that. And when he hit that fucking diamond cutter and took his mask off in front of everybody, they were like, it was so good. Like, we fucked everybody. It was like nobody knew because we didn't want anybody to spoil it. So we just kept it between them. He said he walked around with La Parka for like 2 days, like studying how he fucking moved and shit. He even did the little La Parka dance.
That's dope. I gotta go back and watch that again to see what like led up into it. Hey, those dudes put on a banger though. DDP and Macho Man. Wasn't that basically DDP's coming out party where he got himself over?
He said Macho Man, for whatever reason, like trusted him with stuff that he didn't trust anybody else with. and he told a story about how one Thanksgiving he got a voicemail from Macho Man, because this is after Macho Man had died. He was talking about him, and he was like, Macho Man called him, and on his voicemail, he's like, I don't really do this a lot, but I just want to tell you, like, I fucking appreciate you, and we've been working together and this, that, and the third. And I can't remember who DDP said he was with. He was with another wrestler when he listened to it. And the guy was like, Macho don't do that for anybody. Like, you're fucking made. And he said Macho Man like went out of his way to make sure he got the diamond cutter in and all kind of other stuff that he didn't have to do. And that's what like made DDP a superstar, was that feud with Macho Man.
Man, I get upset when I think about what WWE did to DDP. It started off kind of good with the stalking thing, and then they made him positively paged. I'm like, man, come on. He was a little older though, but
That's not a bad thing. That is a good thing.
yeah. I know.
That was trash.
I know. But even before that, though, when he's in WCW, you know what I didn't like? I didn't like when they turned him heel and had him with Bam Bam and Canyon. I didn't like that either. Like, why didn't they just keep him as a baby face? He was like super over at the time.
You know what made me mad was when Sting turned heel on Hogan at War Games 99. And then him and DDP and Luger had like this 3-man, almost like a power trip type thing. And it was gone because Hogan threw a hissy fit and somebody else got hurt. They end up stripping Sting of the title because Hogan came out and laid down at Halloween Havoc like a little bitch. That's what Hogan did. He always threw a hissy fit. He's a racist, egotistical, punk ass bitch that whenever he didn't get his way, he laid down in the middle of the ring. And I'm mad that I never got the Sting heel run because Sting was really over as a heel in WCW for that 1 month that he was the champ. And he was doing like he was doing the dirty shit. Like he defended the title against Flair, and Luger came out and hit Flair with a bat, and everybody was like, I can't believe Sting's winning like this. Sting had a bunch of kids come up to Hulk Hogan at his limo and fucking hit him in the back of the knee with a baseball bat in front of all the little kids. It was great. Sting's heel run was gonna be so good, and Hogan fucked it all up as usual.
And what about like the Goldberg heel run? I feel like that whole time period was just like a whole clusterfuck with Vince Russell at the helm.
Goldberg and Scott Steiner had a really good feud.
I can't even remember that.
Yeah, they had a really good feud. Scott Steiner had gotten really over too towards the end of WCW, which is why he ended up coming to WWE and getting pushed. He never got the world title, but he at least got, matches with Triple H.
It's funny that you bring that up. I was watching interview it, and I don't think he wanted to pull too much behind the curtain, but they asked him like, what happened with your WWE run? He was like, he's supposed to possibly get a title run, but he said the powers that be, he don't know what happened, but because I think he was being vague on purpose.
Yeah.
Remember they had him and Triple H with the flexing contest?
The pose down? Yeah. Yeah, it was good.
But yeah, what a weird period in wrestling, that WCW 2000. Who knows?
It was weird, but it was like there was some really good stuff in there, but it was covered by so much just bullshit.
Buff Bagwell's mama on a pole match.
Yeah. Sting and Vampiro had a good little feud, but they had a couple stupid ass matches in there. Like they threw Sting off the top of the Titantron on fire.
Yeah, I remember that.
And then he showed up on Thunder like 3 days later.
They made him show back that quickly?
It might not, maybe it was like a week later. I don't know. But it was like, wait a minute, dog. Like, we just saw you on a fire.
Were they like trying to copy Hawk getting thrown off the Titantron?
I want to think maybe Hawk.
That happened like in 98. I remember that specifically.
I don't know. That timeline is pretty close together, so I don't remember which one happened first.
Because I want to say that happened like 99 when they got the new set in WCW and changed the weird logo. But I think the one with Vampiro looked more vicious than he was on fire.
Yeah. But also, like, Sting had a match against, like, Rick Steiner, and he had these big-ass weird gloves on. And it's like, why the fuck is he wrestling in those? And then he got attacked by a Rottweiler backstage, and the Rottweiler like bit his wrist and shit. And it's like, oh, okay. They clearly fucking
Yeah, they'll telegraph that.
right. They're trying to hide it in plain sight. Like he couldn't have the gloves like laying in the back somewhere and put them on when the camera's not watching.
Yeah. Good time, good time. I mean, you go back and watch all that stuff just for
Me and
nostalgia
Marty had
purposes.
because Marty had never watched Nitro.
Mm.
So we had started watching we were watching WCW shows every week. We were watching Monday. It was only an hour long. We'd watch Monday Nitro. We started from the beginning, then we review it on the show for like 10 minutes. And we kind of got away from it for whatever reason. But I was into it because I fucking loved WCW back then.
That's not a bad idea on your part. Maybe we'll do something fun like that in 2024.
Yeah, I would mind it. Going back and reviewing Nitro. Who else is doing that?
Yeah, I know, right? But we got way off track. My number two is
We're still doing power rankings?
yeah, my number two is the winner on SmackDown. He advances to the finals of the US tournament. KO.
Mm.
Got a win over our boy Carmelo. It was good to see Carmelo in that spot though, to get some shine. Oh, that was my number three, number two. So you're in your number one, right?
Yeah, my number one is my boy, Santos. He beat fucking Bobby Lashley. He got the two dudes from the Kiss Cam to come help him out. Angel Garza and Humberto.
Yeah.
But yeah, you beat Bobby Lashley, you get to my fucking number one.
I mean, you pretty much just hit the nail on the head. That's my number one too. Santos Escobar. Big win over Bobby Lashley. I don't know. Like, what's Bobby Lashley doing on SmackDown? He's helped the Street Profits, but how come they never got around to him and Roman?
They got bigger plans for Roman, I think. I think as over as Lashley is to us and everybody else, I don't think WWE sees him that way.
I mean, he's a two-time champion. They see something in him.
Yeah, but I mean, like, he immediately lost it to Brock. And then he lost his second one in a fucking elimination match. No, I'm sorry. He lost it to Big E. He got cashed in on. Then he lost the second one to Brock in the elimination match. He didn't even get pinned in. Then they had that weird fucking program with him and Brock where the third and final match was a DQ, and then they've never fucking wrestled again. I don't know. I just feel like Lashley could be a huge star if they wanted to, but I think they're afraid of his age because he's like 47.
Yeah.
But also, he's been back with WWE for like 5 or 6 years now. He's never hurt. Like, you should have pulled the trigger on him a long time ago.
Yeah. Yeah, he's been back for a while. He was like 2017 he came back.
Yeah,
Jeez.
he fucking beat Roman Reigns fair and he's the last person before Jey Uso to pin Roman Reigns fair and square.
Did Baron Corbin do it by nefarious means?
Oh yeah, Corbin cheated like hell. But Lashley literally just fucking they both went for the spear. Lashley dodged Roman's, hit the ropes, and he speared Roman and pinned him.
Man, that's dope. Yeah, maybe it's an age thing. I mean, but he's pretty big though. You think they can make him bigger than what he is?
Yeah, I think Lashley could if they fucking put it behind. I think if Lashley's first world title run would have happened in front of people and not in the Thunderdome, he'd be fucking huge right now. The way that whole thing came about with him helping Miz beat Drew and then chasing Miz down and making Miz give him a title shot and then beating his ass. Like, I mean, when he defended the title against Drew at WrestleMania, I know the crowd was only half full at the Tampa Bay Stadium, but half of those people were cheering for Lashley.
They were. I mean, because people were like, "Oh, Drew needs to get in front of a crowd," but once they got in front of the crowd, everybody's for Lashley. So
Right.
it's like, nah, I don't think Drew needs to run like that. But no, we'll talk about Drew a little bit later. But I think they just leaving money on the table. A heel Roman Reigns versus, I guess, like a tweener Bobby Lashley. Take my money, man.
I just got a alert on Instagram, and then when I closed it out, I see that CM Punk is about to make his in-ring debut for WWE in a non-televised MSG show for Christmas.
Yeah, I heard about that.
I
Not a
think
fan
that's,
of it.
I think that's stupid.
I don't think it is.
Why are you posting everywhere that he's about to debut for WWE and it's not on fucking TV?
It's trying to sell out. It's MSG though. If it was like Iowa, bumblefuck Iowa, I would be upset. But it's MSG. They're trying to sell tickets, and I'm
And he
not
should
mad.
have wrestled. He should have wrestled on Raw last week. His re-debut for WWE isn't even fucking televised.
I'm not mad at. I'm not mad at it though. Just because it's MSG, make it special. Like MSG, like it's the mecca, man. How could you be mad at that?
I've been there. It's overrated.
You been to MSG? Wow.
Yeah. I watched ROH New Japan Supercard of Honor there when WrestleMania was there a few years ago.
I've walked outside of it, but I didn't get to go inside. That's dope that you got to go inside.
Yeah, went in and fucking walked out during the main event because I was trying to beat all the foot traffic.
Mm. How would tickets go for something like that? I feel like that'd be expensive.
It was like $75 each, I think. It
That's
wasn't
not
bad.
bad at all.
It was a lot less than $100. But I mean, we sat in the 200 section, like which was the top of MSG, but it wasn't too bad.
I'm hearing $75 won't get you in your one shoe in the door at a next game nowadays.
No. Speaking of tickets and stuff like that, shout out to AEW, man. AEW Revolution fucking sold like hotcakes. Last I looked, I think they were set up for like 12.5, and they had already sold like 11,700 seats or something. Like there was only about 800 left.
Well, it is Sting's last match, but they don't have issues selling pay-per-view. It's a week-to-week television. And I think Collision is splitting up their, what they used to sell, because you got two shows to put on. It was, I think, too fast, too soon, but they needed that show because they got such a big ass roster.
I hear you, but I also hear that a lot of their pay-per-views you can wait and get like $25 tickets sitting really fucking close. This one sold like within the first week. If you didn't have your tickets already, you were going to pay after market prices for them. So you know what? Fuck AEW. Shout out to the Stinger. Still having that drawing power.
I mean, it is his last match. If they were, you think they would have sold it if it was like Sting promoting it, being in the main event title match?
It depends on how they did it, but you're right. Like a lot of people did want to be there. I'm going to tell you what, though. I was thinking about this today. I don't want to see a regular AEW pay-per-view at Revolution. I don't want to. I don't want to see just random motherfuckers wrestling for 30 minutes. I want like Lex Luger on the screen talking about Sting, even your boy Ric Flair, Scott Steiner. Like I want all the people that have been there throughout the way. Hell, you could even get Cody Rhodes on there if you want and talk about. See, he's a big Sting fan when he was younger. I want all these people like to do almost like a diary of like why Sting's important to wrestling. I don't care about wrestling there. I'm going to Greensboro to pay my respects to the Stinger. They don't even have to have a match until Sting's match comes. It could be 3 hours of giving Sting his flowers, and I wouldn't be mad at it.
I get what you're saying, but we know that's not gonna happen.
Okay, give it half and half. I want to see way more tributes to Sting than I want to see matches that I don't give a fuck about.
Hey, maybe since you put it out on Universe, they'll do more of a tribute thing throughout the show. But
Yeah.
you're still gonna get 10 matches on that.
Yeah, I don't want that. Give me a world title match, give me a tag title match, give me all the title matches, right? Like and AEW's got like 17 titles. So it's still a lot of matches, right? But I want a tribute to the Stinger. And if Tony Khan is a fan of wrestling the way he says he was, this is the first time he gets to do something like this. WWE had Ric Flair, his last match at WrestleMania. This is the first time Tony Khan gets to make a tribute to a legend the right way. And Sting is a fucking legend. And I want him to do it right. So
Hey, I'm all aboard on that, but
do it right, Snowman.
Hey, you said it. Yeah, I'm curious to see how they have it set up. But who knows? It can go either really well or it can be a shit show. So
I'm gonna be like, once Sting comes out there, I'll be excited. But if we just go a whole show and it's just a regular AEW pay per view, and I don't get shit for like, there's no way they could do that. Again, even if it's just Luger in like a 10-minute diatribe about why Sting's the man, but I want to see like all the people that are still alive that came up with him. I want to see him on TV, like giving a tribute to the Stinger. Is that too
what if,
much to ask?
what if they do it in the weeks leading up to it, except and
No, fuck
instead of
that. I
doing
want to see it
the
when I'm
show?
going to Greensboro for this. I don't give a fuck about what's on TBS and TNT. I'm driving to North Carolina for this pay per view, Sting's last match. Make it a big deal.
I think you're setting yourself up for disappointment, man. I don't know if it's gonna go down like
I
that.
think you're right too, but I also think that you can verge off from what the norm of a pay per view is when it's something this big. Who's the who's the other icon that they could do this with in wrestling right now? Cena?
Jeff Jarrett. What? With my baby tonight? That was a hit, man. Come on, you ain't gonna disrespect Double J like that. J double E or J E double F.
Cena? Maybe The Rock if he decides to retire. Like these are people quote unquote bigger than Sting. But who else do you have? Jericho?
Ugh. I don't know. Jericho.
Right. So Sting is on, a lot of people's Mount Rushmore. Sting's like a really polarizing figure in wrestling. Some people love him. Some people are like, I think he's overrated. I don't know of any other star right now that you're gonna have the opportunity to make feel like a big deal like this. Not to mention, this dude's 63 years old jumping off of balconies for your fucking company.
Yeah. I mean, the other guy in wrestling right now, you could do it, but he's not even close like the Sting as far as longevity. Maybe like a Randy Orton, and he just came back.
I don't think there's anybody close to Sting in longevity. Dude started in 1986. It's 2023.
Like I said, a Jared, but he never got on Sting's level like
Oh no, he's
that.
never even close to Sting's level.
That's the only closest far as longevity wise is a Jared. And maybe a PCO, but like PCO is not even on Jared's level. So that's crazy when you think about it. How long Sting's been doing it at the level he's been doing it at. Yeah, I mean, I'm with you. I wouldn't be opposed to it being like a Sting tribute night, but Tony Khan's got ADD. He wants to get his shit in. He wants to fit in 10 pounds of shit in a 5-pound bag. So I don't think we get that.
I'll say this about Tony Khan, and I don't know the guy personally, but from everything I've heard, he's a real big history buff with wrestling. He's a real big wrestling nerd. And I think his wrestling nerdum will take over and he'll end up doing this right. I think if this was a WWE thing, I don't think it'll be done as well as what Tony Khan's going to do it.
You don't think? Hold on. You said if it was a WWE thing,
Yeah.
you don't think it'd be done?
Because Sting's not a WWE guy.
Mm-hmm.
He built his reputation elsewhere. So I don't think they would do it as big. Even when he went to the Hall of Fame, they didn't make that big of a deal out of it. He was the main eventer, but they didn't make that big a deal out of it. I think Tony Khan will do it right. I really do. I think he's a big enough fan of the sport. He's a big enough nerd of the sport. I think he's going to make this a big deal. Will it be my liking? Maybe, maybe not. But I do think he's going to try.
Hey, I'm all for it. But I mean, what are we at? It's almost January. When is it again? When is the pay-per-view?
March 3rd.
Oh, it's early March.
Mm-hmm.
For some reason I thought it was late March. Yeah, that's kind of right around that's like 2 months away, basically.
Yep.
We'll see, man. But I don't know. I'm holding my breath because it is Tony Khan. He said like you said, he's a history buff, but he's also all over the place at times. So hey,
Let's get
fingers
to these
crossed.
world's end predictions. We've been going long on power rankings lately.
Hey,
We keep getting sidetracked.
I think that's the charm of the show, man. Got to give the people what they want.
I like it.
World's End. This is taking place. This is it a Saturday? I know you like the Saturday pay-per-views.
Sunday.
It's on a Sunday.
Mhm.
Huh. So they're going back to Sunday because the last one, Revolution was on, not Revolution, Full Gear was on a Saturday.
As far as I know, it's a Sunday. I know Revolution's on Sunday.
No, this is on Saturday. It's the 30th. It's on the 30th.
Oh yeah, because that's New Year's Eve. You're right. You're right.
So
I'll be watching the Cowboys game.
that is on a Saturday too. You can't have two screens.
I'll be in Chattanooga.
Ah,
I'll be lucky if I can watch the Cowboys game without getting bitched at.
well, you could always watch it the next day. That's the power of having the link.
Fallon Henley.
Shout out to Fallon Henley too.
Big time.
So they got 7 matches announced so far. Let's kick it off, and I guess we could give our prediction on who we think's even going to get in this match. They got the Blue League winner versus the Gold League winner. I think you already gave your winner. You said it's going to be Moxon versus Eddie Kingston.
Mox and fat ass Eddie Kingston.
I'm going to say it's going to be Swerve and Eddie Kingston. And I think Swerve is going to get it, even though I don't want him to have this Fugazi belt. So give me. I got Swerve winning it all.
I got old Lane Bryant Kingston winning it.
You think he's gonna retain his belt?
Yeah, I think he's gonna keep him.
So, did you read about this too? Like, are they gonna be defending that Continental belt?
I haven't heard. I just feel like they're just gonna have 3 belts and they'll be able to defend them. Yeah. I think they're gonna be able to defend them separately and they'll be able to defend them at the same time. I think it would be stupid if they defend them at the same time though, because that doesn't make you a Triple Crown champion, right? Like, what makes you a Triple Crown champion is capturing all 3 belts from 3 companies and defending those belts one by one in each company.
Okay, so I'm reading up on it, saying so the champion at the time of the next Continental Classic will automatically be. Oh, this is so stupid. So it's gonna be like a defended belt, and they're saying they would defend the belt in all 3 promotions. But wasn't that the gist of when they got the international titles that's supposed to be defended in different promotions? It's so stupid. I hate it. But you said you got Eddie Kingston winning. I got Swerve winning.
Yeah.
Let's go to the next match before I get even madder. We got Hook versus Wheeler Yuta for the FTW championship. FTW rules.
I got Hook winning, but I don't, like, does anybody give a fuck about that title?
No, it's not even sanctioned. Yeah, I got Hook. And hopefully if he wins, he'll retire the belt too.
Not with his daddy, the human duplex machine, still on commentary.
All right. Yeah, who cares? Next match, we got Julia Hart versus Abaddon for the TBS championship.
I got Julia.
Yeah, give me Julia as well. It'll be a nice little showcase. They got more than one women's match in the card, which is cool. Now take us to the next one. We got Time with Tony Storm with Luther versus Riho for the
Chin up,
AEW Women's
tits
Champion.
out.
So you got Time with Tony Storm.
Mm-hmm.
I got her too. Who do you think like it's gonna even be hot enough to take it off Tony? The only thing I could think of is Jamie when she comes back.
That's probably who it's gonna be, unless somebody worked a lot of Monet takes it from her.
I think she's coming back at the Rumble, to be honest. She's been mighty quiet lately. Now she's got to be healed up from that ankle injury, right?
Oh yeah, she was posting a bunch of WWE Funkos of her the other day.
But she's coming back at the Rumble. I think she's done. I think her gripe was with Vince, and he's pretty much done. I would have liked to see her in the AEW ring just for a little slither of time. Not even like a full contract, just to do like a one-off. But I don't think we're gonna get that. Next match, though, we got Big Bill and Ricky Starks versus Chris Jericho and TBA. Who do you think that TBA is gonna be?
Maybe Sting?
Sting?
Why not? Give Sting a title run on his way out. Jericho turns on him towards the end. They lose the belts, and he finishes up versus Jericho in like a month.
That's who you want to see Sting go out against
No,
Jericho.
no, I want to see Sting fight Darby Allin.
That's
I
who
can't think of
wanna see.
anybody else that I want to see Sting fight unless he
Uh,
fought Jeff Jarrett.
Ugh.
But then you'd have Jeff Jarrett wrestling Ric Flair and Sting in their retirement matches, and I don't think he deserves that.
No, he doesn't. He got to
I'm
beat Sting
go
and
with
Darby.
I'll go with the obvious and say Sammy Guevara.
They beat Chris Jericho's. Didn't
Yeah,
didn't Sammy turn on him like a month ago or two ago?
they're always friends. They're always linked.
I'm gonna say it's gonna be somebody that is not in the company. I'm gonna do
Ooh,
what?
all those WWE guys that got released recently,
That's what I'm.
they're free agents now.
That's what I'm saying. It's gonna be somebody crazy like a Dolph Ziggler. Uh,
Shelton Benjamin.
Nikki Namus is probably what they call him. Shelton, yeah. Ooh, that would be dope. Shelton. I'll say Nick Namath, Dolph Ziggler.
Whoever
Something.
it is, I think Ricky Starks and Big Bill are going to keep the belts.
Yeah, give me those two as well. Next up, we got a grudge match for your TNT Championship. Christian Cage versus Adam Copeland.
I'm going to go with Adam Copeland. I was about to make a joke about a father figure for Nick Gage because of what his mom looked like, but I left it alone.
Nick Wayne.
Nick Wayne, Nick Gage, whatever.
Yeah, I'm gonna go opposite of you. I'm gonna go with Christian and keep this feud going until Revolution.
Yeah, that turtleneck's going to look a lot different without the TNT title.
Yeah, I think he's gonna retain though. It's gonna carry over to Revolution and Cage, something crazy. But that takes us to our main event. MJF defending the AEW World Championship against Samoa Joe.
MJF will keep the title.
Ooh, so we're going opposite on both of these. I think we got a new AEW World Champion, Joe. And then they play into MJF being a free agent 2024.
Breaking news: CM Punk wrestles his first match back in WWE versus who do you think?
I'm trying to think of people. Maybe Drew McIntyre,
It's a heel on Monday Night Raw.
Damian Priest, or Finn Balor.
Wow, you are so fucking close.
Dom.
Dom.
That's interesting. I feel like Dom is like a safe choice because he's safe, like safe in the ring. He's not reckless.
Dom's really good in the ring, man. People give him shit, Marty. But Dom's good, man. He's got the goods.
I've always been on the Dom train, even before I was on the show. I used to be in your comments, giving Dom props, and Marty used to hate it. He used to shit on me for it.
Yeah.
I had the vision. I was saying this before he turned heel too. I had the vision, man.
Yeah, I wasn't a big fan of little face Dominic. He just reminded me of fucking asking Rey Mysterio if it was true that Eddie's his dad when he was a face. Is it true, Dad?
That was funny.
True. Shut your little punk ass up.
Terrible acting skills. No, because like even before his character was not, it was pretty trash. But I'm like, people were like talking about how bad he was in the ring. I'm like, kid seems like he's picking up on it.
Yeah. He was never awful in the ring. It's just
Yeah,
people just didn't like him.
just hating for no reason. Hate is an ugly trait to have.
Mm-hmm.
But
Unless
yeah,
you're hating on old fucking fat body Eddie Kingston.
or your favorite pastime of hating on CM Punk.
Tom, that's my favorite wrestler now. It's clobbering time.
While he tears his ACL.
Don't do that. Don't do that. Don't wish injury on my guy.
Oh man,
I'm a
nah,
punk guy now.
we don't need that WrestleMania season.
I'm
After
about to
that,
go sober now, just in solidarity with CM Punk.
you're gonna go sober for the rest of the year.
That's a big ask.
Uh, oh man, but yeah, that's the end of World's End. 7-match card. I think it's probably going to increase knowing Tony Khan. I doubt it's going to stay at 7 matches.
Yeah. Real quick before we get to the NFL, who's your pick to win the SmackDown triple threat match between L.A. Knight, AJ Styles, and the Viper, Randy Orton?
I mean, I think we're gonna have a show in between then, but we could. I
Oh,
guess we could.
there's no more SmackDowns before then.
Oh yeah. Right. But I think we're gonna have a boot to the face before then, though.
Oh, yeah. Well, you can still give me your pick on who you think it is.
But you were right, because I thought on the last show that they were just gonna have like a 4-way at Royal Rumble, but I guess not. So you predicted it. And I think it's gonna stick with how you predicted it's gonna happen. I think you see AJ and LA Knight blow it off somewhere else. Then it's gonna end up being Randy and Roman at the Rumble.
Yeah, I think so too.
It's heating up though. I mean, I don't know. Like, what do you think? Like they're doing with this AJ character? Because I just went back and watched it. Did it happen in between? Okay, so we didn't have a show in between there. On SmackDown, the club came up to him and he like basically brushed him off.
Yeah. Old girl was hugging on her. He was like, shut your motherfucking ass off of me. But you rub off some of that Keith Lee on me.
Yeah. Somebody was saying on something I was listening to that in TNA he did like a lone wolf character, but I wasn't watching it. Was that any good?
That was before, it was either before or after he was in Fortune. Fortune was like wannabe main event mafia. It was like him, beer money.
And then Flair was the spokesman, wasn't he? I
Yeah.
remember watching a little bit of
It
that.
was like a wannabe four horsemen. That's what it was. I said main event mafia. It was like a wannabe four horsemen. That's where the name Fortune came from. And then he went off on his own and did the lone wolf type thing.
Did Baron Corbin just steal that from him?
I don't think he was calling himself the lone wolf. I just thought it was that was kind of what he was doing.
Was that any good?
I've just never been into AJ.
Really? I like
Yeah.
AJ's WWE title run.
He's a good. He's like he's like an AEW pay-per-view. Like I don't care about his story and what leads into it, but when the bell rings, like I watch him.
You didn't like his stuff with Dean Ambrose?
No, I did like when he used to beat up John Cena.
I like how the Good Brothers they translated that over to AEW. Like, we're gonna beat up John Moxley.
Yeah.
And then, like before that, like you said, beat up John Cena. That was funny. That was good stuff.
Well, EJ, that's all the wrestling. You want to predict these NFL games real quick that are unpredictable?
Yeah. So last week,
Oh boy.
you did the Jason Garrett special.
8-8.
Yeah. We both started off promising, but then the later games kind of got us because we both had the Cowboys, we both had the Chiefs. That's kind of messed us up, but I went 10-6.
Well, we can call it.
I mean, you got 2 weeks left.
I'm down by like 15 games.
Yeah, but hey, it's still, we came this far. We just can't give up.
Oh no, I'm not saying call it. I'm just saying it's over.
I gotta figure out which kind of liquor I want. That'll be what I'll be doing in the next couple of weeks.
So my issue is now, should I just pick every game opposite you to try to catch up. But then if it doesn't work out, it'll look like you beat me by like 50 games.
Hey, pick your poison.
Maybe I'll do that the last week. I'll just pick fucking everything opposite of you.
All right. I'll try that for week 18, but we're in week 17. Is that a Thursday night game?
My bad. I guess I need to pull it up, huh? I always do that. NFL.com.
This week is kind of flew by really quickly. I can't believe it's almost playoffs, man. That's crazy.
Yeah, man, I don't like it either. It's like the season's like fantasy football is over.
Mm-hmm.
I don't like it. Let's see here. Week 17. Week 17, Thursday night football. The Jets of New York travel to Cleveland to take on the 10-5 Cleveland Browns. Cleveland has the same record as the Cowboys, and they've had 4 different quarterbacks.
That's crazy.
And I'm not saying that to say the Cowboys have sucked. I'm saying it to say what Cleveland's doing this year is fucking incredible.
I got the Browns.
I'll take the Browns also. Saturday night delight, New Year's Adam. The Detroit Lions come to Dallas, take on the Dallas Cowboys.
I got the Cowboys. They better win, but they are not peaking right now, and it's upsetting.
You know, I was thinking about this. I'm not mad at it.
I'm not mad at them not peaking right now.
No, they already made the playoffs. Go ahead and have your little slump, and then the game against Washington, they need to show out, and then just win 3 or 4 games in a row. They don't need the peak right now. Teams that usually peak at week 15, 16, and 17 rarely win the Super Bowl. It's about getting hot at the right time, and it's too early to get hot right now.
I need to see some statistics behind what you just said.
You just listen to me.
Okay.
Who won the Super Bowl last year?
Didn't the Chiefs win?
Do you think they were hot last year about this time?
Probably.
Well, only one way to find out.
I don't know if I'm going to subscribe to this theory that you have.
Kansas City Chiefs win-loss record 2022.
Yeah, I don't
They were
know.
14-3.
That's a pretty damn good record.
Yeah, so they were good all season, right?
Unless you like the New York Giants, like maybe that theory. They won their last. They were peaking at the right time. They won their last 5 games of the season.
See if I can pull their schedule up real quick.
I got it up. They lost against the Bengals in week 13. That was their last loss.
Oh yeah, so they won 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then they won 3 games in the playoffs. So they were on an 8-game winning streak. All right, and then the year before,
you got to pull up the Rams. Pull up the Rams of the year before.
Rams schedule.
Okay, they lost their last game of the season, but they probably They probably had it wrapped up and sat their starters because they had a damn good record.
They didn't have a good record that year.
Yeah, they did.
They were 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. They had a 3-game losing streak.
That was at the middle of the season. I agree. You don't want to, but
12.
I feel like they were peaking at towards the end of the.
They were 12-5.
I don't know if I want to go off that theory and not peaking at the end of the season. I don't know. I feel like
Who won it? Who won in 2020?
that was the Bucks.
Tampa Bay. I know they didn't have a good end to the season. They damn near missed the playoffs. Bucks 2020 schedule.
They were still 11-5. That's not bad, and they were peaking at the end of the season. I don't know about this theory, dog.
Yeah, I guess you're right.
That's when you want to peak. It's probably happened before. I think not peaking is the outlier, probably like the Giants maybe in like 2012.
No, I think the last 3 have gone in with like 4-game winning streaks, but I feel like if you peak too early, you don't win. So I'm not.
I agree with that,
I
but
feel like it's also hard to like. Yeah, we're watching these teams win like 7, 8 games in a row before they win the Super Bowl. But honestly, like in the NFL, who wins 7 games in a row? The odds of you doing it aren't good. So I'd rather like. I'm not glad Dallas lost, but I'm not mad. Like they played really good against Miami. A couple little adjustments here and there, like I don't know, not fumbling the ball on the 1 yard line, not having a
that
fucking
was
left
terrible.
tackle, not block a guy like multiple times. Like I think Dak is playing better than he's played in his entire career right now.
And
Mad at it.
I think I got Dallas winning. I think it's will be the bounce back game.
Yeah. The Dolphins take on the Ravens, who just fucking absolutely spanked the 49ers. And I think this is a letdown game. And I think the Dolphins win. And now they're tied first place to get the first round bye.
I got this is in Baltimore.
Mm-hmm.
Got the Ravens winning.
There's a game on makeup. The Patriots travel to Buffalo to take on the Bills. And this is where the Bills' playoff hopes come to die. But they're still going to win.
You said who's this against Bills?
The New England Patriots.
They won last week. They kind of messed you and my pick because we picked against them. But they're not gonna win this week. I got the Bills as well.
The Atlanta Falcons, fresh off a victory, travel to Chicago to take on the Bears, who just won. Both teams still in the playoff hunt.
I picked against the Falcons last week, and they made me look like an asshole. But I'm gonna pick against them this week again. I got the Bears.
Yeah, I got the Bears also. I would be shocked if the Bears made the playoffs.
You'd be shocked if they.
Probably
You wouldn't be shocked.
3, 4, 5, 6, 7. They're only 2 games out right now.
Are they still in the hunt?
Yeah, they're not. The only team eliminated are the Panthers, the Cardinals, the Redskins. I'm sorry, the Commanders, and the Giants.
Yeah.
The Bears will get in.
Justin Fields, like y'all ain't drafting another quarterback next year.
The Seahawks are 6-5 in the conference, and the Bears are 5-5. So they're still alive. They're only 2 games up. They win the next two. The Seahawks lose the next two, and the Vikings don't win again. And they beat the Falcons this week. Like, yeah.
Man, it's gonna be interesting these last 2 weeks.
We got the Tennessee Titans traveling to Houston to take on the Texans.
Man, the Texans have been messing up my picks because I've been picking them.
I'm gonna pick them again this week.
Who's that like what happened to CJ Stroud?
I don't know, but we're
I
picking
don't
up.
trust this pick, but I'm picking the Houston Texans as well.
The Las Vegas Raiders, fresh off a dominant victory over the Kansas City Chiefs, playoff hope still alive with Antonio Pierce head coaching, taking on the fucking shitty Indianapolis Colts who just lost to the Falcons. Ugh.
This is in Vegas.
It's in Indianapolis.
I got the Colts.
2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. They're only 1 game out of the playoffs, the Raiders. And guess who's got the last playoff spot? The Colts. The Raiders win this week. They got the inside track to get into the playoffs.
So I'm saying I'm gonna go off on a limb and say you picking the Raiders.
Yep.
There you have it. I got the Colts.
Carolina Panthers are losing to the Jaguars. We can both pick the Jaguars.
I don't know, man. The Jags are messing up. They're trying to give away the division. But Tony Khan must have been giving them that booger sugar.
I got the Jags. I'm not.
I got the Jags too.
The Los Angeles Rams travel to New York, who faced the Giants, who should have beat the Eagles last night on Christmas.
That messed your pick up too.
Yeah, I had them.
I got the Rams.
I'll take the Rams as well.
See, that's a team that's peaking. You don't want to see them in the playoffs.
No, there's a lot of talk about like, oh, you want to if you're the Cowboys or the Eagles, you really don't want to win the division because you want to play the Tampa Bay or you want to avoid the 49ers and all that. I'm like, shit, that first round game is going to be hard no matter who you play. Whether you play the Rams, the Bucks, the Seahawks, like none of those are going to be a given anymore.
Yeah, but wouldn't you rather play the Bucks though than the Rams?
I'd rather play anybody at home if I'm Dallas.
Wait, see, that's
Anybody that comes to Dallas, bring it. I'll take my chances.
so. I guess yeah. I guess so that your sentiment changed after the past couple of weeks. How you seen the Bucks play? Because I remember at one point you wanted to play the NFC South.
When I thought it was going to be the Falcons.
Because you wanted to go to that home game.
Yeah, exactly. I still think the Cowboys will win whoever they play in the NFC South, but it ain't gonna be easy. But maybe you need a hard road game against somebody in the playoffs to fuck because you'll probably have to win 3 road games. So maybe you got to get that first one to fucking prove you can do it.
Unless it's an upset and all around.
Yeah, I mean, let's be real. If Dallas, Seattle, and the Rams are the 3 teams going to play Detroit, Philly, and Tampa, I could see all 3 of those teams winning and Dallas getting to host a playoff game in the second round.
I'd be elated if that happened.
So Rams and Giants, I got the Rams. You said you had the Rams also?
Yeah.
The Cardinals take on the Eagles.
I got the Eagles. The Cardinals are trash. Has Kyler Murray been playing?
Yeah.
And he's just not good anymore, huh?
He's just really little.
Told you. Who you got?
Cardinals.
You got the Cardinals beating the Eagles.
Yeah.
Okay.
Fuck the Eagles.
All righty.
Saints take on the Buccaneers for fucking first place in the division.
Hey, what are the Bucks record right now?
The Bucks are 8-7. The Saints are 7-8.
Wow. Oh wow. So they got a winning record. So it's probably gonna be a team with a winning record because we got like a losing record team in there. We never know with these division games, but I got the Bucks.
I got the Saints.
And this is in Tampa Bay.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I got the Bucks.
The San Francisco 49ers travel to the nation's capital to take on the Virginia Washington Commanders.
Well, what happened to all
Maryland? I'm sorry, I said Virginia. Maryland.
Yeah. What happened to all the Purdy MVP talk, huh?
It was pretty disappointing.
But they dropped them out of that combo real quick after 4 interceptions.
I think that's so stupid too. Like Dak lost the MVP versus Buffalo. So you mean to tell me you can have a great season altogether and have one bad game, and now they're like, you ain't the MVP. Like, come on.
It's basically turned into like the Heisman, basically.
Yeah. Now, I think Purdy's game versus Baltimore was way worse than Dak versus Buffalo.
Buffalo happened so long ago, I can't even remember what happened in the Buffalo.
Dak only threw 1 interception. Purdy threw 4 and got benched.
They benched Purdy?
Yeah, they brought in fucking
Sam
Darnold. Yeah, Sam Darnold came in through a touchdown.
Dang, Purdy.
Yeah. I think he got hurt though, if I'm not mistaken. He may have gotten hurt. I didn't watch it. I just heard about it. I got the 49ers though.
I got them as well.
The Steelers travel to Seattle to take on the Seahawks. Both the Steelers and the Seahawks are 8-7, fighting for the playoffs. It's a big time game.
I got the Hawks.
I agree. I want the Seahawks to make the playoffs so they can beat the 49ers.
Yeah. Never know what happens in those division games.
I really think if the Seahawks make it, they'll end up in the NFC Championship.
Really? I don't go that far.
I think they got a really good football team. I think unlike other teams, they're not scared of San Francisco.
I do think that's the case. I don't think they're scared of San Francisco. But we gotta see how it plays out.
The Los Angeles Chargers travel to Denver Broncos. Denver's also 7-8, fighting for the AFC playoffs are wide fucking open.
I got Denver, but I'm not confident in this pick at all.
Mr. Unlimited.
It's such an up and down team. I don't trust them at all.
The Cincinnati Bengals at eight
Who,
and
who, hold
seven.
on, who you got?
I got the Broncos. My bad. I thought I told you, Mister
Oh, I just
Unbelievable.
thought you just giving them props.
Yeah, you know I will never pick against Russell Wilson.
Okay,
I don't know why he's let me down time after time again, but
I know. That's what I'm like. I don't know why.
the Bengals at 8 and 7 travel to Kansas City to take on the Chiefs at 9 and 6. If the Chiefs lose this game, they'll be 9 and 7 after winning the Super Bowl.
I mean, it's still probably gonna win the division, but that is kind of a letdown.
Are they?
Who do you think? You think the Raiders or the
If the
Broncos?
Broncos win, they're 8 and 8, and the Chiefs are 9 and 8, and I'm pretty sure they play each other the final week. Uh, let's see. The Raiders are 7 and 8, so they'd be 8 and 8. Who's the other team? The Chargers. They're way.
Chargers, they're done.
Let's see. So yeah, I'm gonna pick the Bengals to beat the Chiefs just because I want chaos. And then the who you got after that? And we'll talk about the Chiefs after
I'm
this.
not picking it against Mahomes. I got Chiefs.
And then the final game of the weekend, 8:20 on New Year's Eve. Who the fuck's gonna be watching this? The Packers and the Vikings at 7 and 8. Both teams fighting for the playoffs.
Is that in Minnesota?
Yep. Packers at the Vikings.
I got Minnesota.
Minnesota's one game out. So are the Packers. So are the Falcons. So are the Saints. Damn. The NFC's fucking wide open too. So the schedule for next week. Who'd you pick?
I got the Vikings in that game.
I'll take the Packers. The Chiefs play the Chargers and the Broncos play the Raiders. Ooh. Yeah, the Chiefs are gonna still win the division whether they lose or not, because they'll beat the Chargers and then
Is that in LA or is that in
yep, in LA.
I don't know, man. It's weird things happen. But I think the Chiefs still win that division.
Let's see. The Chiefs are 3-2 in their division, so that would put them at 4-2. And if the Raiders win, they'll be 4-2. And if the Broncos win, they'd have to win both games. They'd be 4-2. So they'd all be tied at 4-2. Well, the Broncos and the Raiders can't be tied because one of them is going to beat the other one. So I don't know who would win the tiebreaker between them and the Chiefs, but yeah, it's going to be an interesting last few games.
All right. A lot of those divisions and playoff implications are going to happen in that last week. I think it's why the NFL's been setting that up. When did that start? I feel like it didn't start when I like really started paying attention.
Playing division opponent. It started like 5 years ago, maybe.
Really?
Maybe not even that long ago.
I thought it's it'd been like that since like the past 15 years or so.
No, it officially started where they made it like that like 5 years ago.
Oh well, I've been paying attention way longer than that. Maybe I just
because they wanted to ensure that teams weren't sitting people that division titles and shit were still on the line.
Smart. Yeah, it's a lot of drama, which is the fun part of sports. So,
yep.
Buckle up.
Well, it's a fun show, EJ. Last show of the year.
Yeah, man, that's crazy. And I think I officially started on like the first week of January doing the show. So it's been a whole year doing the show. Kind of.
And you started that early. For some reason, I was thinking you started in like February or March.
Nah, I started January.
Nice. About to come up on that 1 year boot to the face anniversary.
It's crazy, yeah, man. Appreciate you letting me come on board on this journey, man.
Hell yeah, it's been fun. And it ain't over. We got new shit coming next year. We got a new podcast platform we're going to go to. YouTube is doing good. Shout out to EJ for all the editing and shit you do for YouTube. That's shit that I just don't have time for and probably couldn't do anyway. So I appreciate the hell out of that. That's always good. Shout out to the listeners. If you go to our YouTube. Please hit the sub button. Try to retweet or repost anything we post on social media. Follow us on social media on Instagram, Twitter, and TikTok, where EJ does the videos on there. He'll do clips. So follow us on all that. Tell all your friends about it, and make sure to hit that sub button. And if EJ doesn't have anything else, we'll sign off for the last time in 2023. For EJ Reed, I'm Chris Rucker. This has been Boot to the Face. Peace.
Leg drop, boot to the face, we won't fold. Quick to put a dude in